What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we're going to be talking about the best gun in Black Ops 2 multiplayer. So, this video was a little bit harder to make than last year. You know, back in Modern Warfare 3, there are a couple of weapons that really stood out above the rest by far. They were head and shoulders better. That was the Type 95 and the ACR. In Black Ops 2, there's no such thing, which is definitely a good thing. You know, this game is a lot more balanced, there's a lot more options, and a lot more diversity, which makes it a lot better. But there are a couple of weapons that do stick out slightly above the rest, and I wanted to point them out to you guys, so if you guys want to hook them up on one of your classes, then you can do your best possible. So, anyway, what they are their SMGs, of course. Okay, Black Ops 2 is an SMG dominant game for the first time in a while. I think for the first time since Call of Duty World at War, when the MP40 was the big badass of the Call of Duty community. You know, that thing was way OP. But anyway, yeah, SMGs are definitely dominant in this game. Number one, because of the maps. Most of the maps in this game are a little bit small, you know, they're short to medium range, and there aren't too many super long lines of sight for assault rifles or snipers to take a huge advantage in. Usually SMGs are a pretty prominent weapon. Now, it's also an SMG dominant game because of the emphasis they've placed on playing the objective. You know, you get so much XP and so much score towards your score streaks for hopping on flags or hopping on hard points or playing near the objective. Oftentimes you're going to be very close to the enemy because those objectives, both teams are running towards them, so oftentimes you'll find yourself in very close quarters combat situations to medium range where SMGs definitely have the advantage. You know, sometimes assault rifles are better, sometimes shotguns are better, sometimes snipers are better, but for the most part, in a majority of situations, SMGs are going to be your best bet. Now, if you're only an assault rifle person, that's really all you like to use, I would recommend checking out the AN-94, the Type 25, the FAL, the M8A1. Those are probably my 4 favorite assault rifles, but I think you're going to have better luck if you use one of the next 2 weapons that I recommend. So, the 2 best weapons in Black Ops 2 at the moment, in my opinion, based off of stats and personal preference, are the PDW and the MSMC. So let's compare these two. So starting off for the unlock level, you get the PDW at level 4, which is really convenient. You can start ranking it up right from the start of your prestige, whereas the MSMC you have to wait for. You get that at level 28. So that's not that big of a deal, it's just a little bit less convenient. They both shoot around the same rate of fire, which is 760 RPM, which is pretty good for a submachine gun in this game. They also both have about the same reload time. I think the MSMC is about a quarter of a second shorter, so that's a slight advantage. It's really not that big of a deal, though. That's not going to save you that much. And they also both have similar recoil patterns. Now, the MSMC does have a slightly bigger advantage here because it's a little more centered towards the middle of the screen. It goes a little bit left, a little bit right, but it typically stays in the center, whereas the PDW sometimes will trail off up and to the right. So just watch out for that. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a slight advantage in favor of the MSMC. Now, these last 2 points here are the biggest advantages and the biggest differences between these 2 guns. Okay, so number 1 is the clip size. The PDW is an absolute man about its clip size. It's got 50 bullets in its regular clip and 65 when you put the extended mag on it. The MSMC only has 30 rounds in its regular clip and 40 rounds when you put the extended mag on it. So that's a huge deal. I mean, the PDW's regular clip is bigger than extended mags on the MSMC, which is just, that's crazy to think about. That's a huge advantage because with the PDW, you don't have to reload as much, which is oftentimes what gets you killed in this game, as well as if you run into a room where there's 3 to 4 people, you have a much better chance of being able to kill all of them because you definitely won't have to reload. You have more than enough bullets to take them all out, which is a huge advantage. So that's in favor of the PDW. Now, the last thing here is the range, or the shots to kill, and this advantage goes to the MSMC, okay? So both of these weapons kill in anywhere from 3 to 6 shots, depending on how far you are away from the enemy, but the MSMC has a slower drop-off rate than the PDW does, which means that sometimes the MSMC is going to kill in 1 less bullet than the PDW will. So, you know, obviously that's a huge advantage there. It does have a smaller clip size, but if you can kill a lot of people in 1 less bullet, that's going to be way to your advantage because you're going to end the gunfights quicker, you're going to win more gunfights, and you won't have to use as much ammo as you would with the PDW. So you have a tough decision here. You know, do you want the weapon that has a huge clip size and allows you to put a lot of bullets down range, or do you want the one that has a slightly better recoil pattern and will sometimes kill in 1 less bullet? You know, that's tough. You have to use them both for yourself, figure out which one you like better. For me, I usually do a little bit better with the MSMC. That's slightly favored for me, but both of them are very, very good weapons, and they'll treat you right in gunfights no matter what the enemy team has. So definitely check out both of them. Now, as for attachments for these two, there are a bunch of attachments that they share are very, very good that I would recommend. The laser sight, absolutely above all else. I think the laser sight is the best attachment in the game, especially on SMGs. I personally think it might need to be nerfed, but we'll have to wait and see. You could also use the long barrel to increase the range. You could use the fast mag if you want to reload faster, the suppressor if you want to stay off the radar, and then finally you could put foregrip on the PDW to kind of help with its up and to the right recoil, but again, it's pretty manageable. You don't really need to do that. So anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you can put these two weapons to use. Hope I helped you guys out, and I've got a bunch of great Black Ops 2 videos coming soon, so check out one of the other two videos on screen if you haven't seen them yet. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.